Retirement is a great time to explore new hobbies and interests, but many people don't try new hobbies because of their fear of failure. Maybe that's what's stopping you.
You know, Jody, with our newfound free time in retirement, this is when we need to get out of our comfort zone. We want to stop feeling isolated and find some new interests or hobbies that we can spend time with during the day.
You know, it's funny. We were just talking to a client of ours who was the CEO of his company. He led over 80 people with a super successful long career, then sold his company, became completely financially independent, freedom to do whatever he wants to do all day long.
And what happened? He's got a little bit of a situation going on. He spent his whole career in the business.
Working.
He has no hobbies, doesn't read books, doesn't play golf, pickleball, or tennis. His wife has been home for 30 years, and she's got a full complement of relationships, book clubs, she plays tennis, and she volunteers.
And you know what? He called us and said, I'm stuck. You know, we're working closely with him to find a new community, a new active and healthy lifestyle, as well as a hobby.
And we're having some success, or I should say he's having some success.
Absolutely.
So today we want to give you some clear steps and strategies that you can use to fill some of this free time. We want to remove any fears of trying something new and help you work through finding a hobby.
You know, but first, let's figure out, why is finding a hobby so hard for some people? You know, a lot of people, like our client, have a bit of a lack of direction in terms of knowing where to start. I talked a little bit about fear of failure. You know, at this stage of the game, you know, none of us really want to fail, but I'm here to tell you, now is the time to fail, right? And a lot of people didn't do it in their past because they didn't have the time.
And they also say that they don't have time now, which is nonsense. They do have time. It's just an excuse.
Yeah.
Now, there could be financial constraints. There could be health or mobility limitations for hobbies. And we know it's hard. We want to acknowledge that. But if you currently don't have a hobby to fill some of your time, we're going to help you today figure that out.
And realize you're okay where you are.
Right.
You got to start somewhere.
Right.
So let's talk about why hobbies are important at this phase of a life.
Well, mental health, right?
Well, first, I agree. You know, hobbies can reduce stress. You know, they can improve your mood. They can give you a sense of fulfillment and help you find purpose at times.
Well, and the other thing is, if you have hobbies that keep you active, that's good from a health point of view because, you know, exercise, walking, whatever it might be. So a lot of hobbies involve physical activity. There's golf, pickleball, gardening, hiking or walking, playing tennis, swimming, going to the gym, whatever it is, that can be a hobby.
And remember, some hobbies can provide creative mind exercise. You know, we've got a neighbor across the street that started painting and crafting and sculpting and doing pottery. We've got one around the corner that started teaching. You're writing a book.
I am writing a book.
And, you know, there's also different crafts that you can get involved in. So it's not only the physical, but can also be mind exercises.
Well, the other thing is when you get involved with hobbies, you're going to have some social interaction and spend time with other people, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have an opportunity to meet new groups of people, engage with people with similar interests, maybe even re-engage with some old friends that have stuck to a hobby. We've got a friend down on the coast of New Jersey at the beach, and she was a huge tennis player and has been a huge tennis player her whole life. Her husband worked. He stopped playing tennis, and now he's back engaged in their tennis crew, which provides them opportunities to do more things, go out to dinners, find other people, and even just more social networking.
Well, that's true. And another reason why hobbies are important, particularly in retirement, is it helps you develop new skills and knowledge. Learning a new skill is healthy. It helps you with cognitive abilities. Physical health, moving your body differently, if it's yoga, for instance. But learning's going to keep you young. And actually failing at something new and picking yourself up and trying again is a good exercise for all of us.
I mean, you know, overall, hobbies are going to enhance your quality of life. Pursuing hobbies can increase your quality of life by adding your sense of purpose, anchoring it on your calendar every day or every week or a couple of times a week, adding enjoyment, you know, you mentioned personal growth, and providing opportunities even for self-expression. So, like when I dance around the house.
That's true. Let's spend some time now helping people come up with ways in which to find a hobby.
It's a good idea.
Where do we start?
First, I would say, were you going to say this?
I don't know what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I
First,
have trouble
I would-
speaking today,
I
so I don't think I should say anything. Why don't you just do the whole thing?
First, I was going to say, think about your interests, right? So you've got to have some interest, and we pushed this client of ours on interest, and he resisted, and I don't have any interest. I just worked. I came home. I go to church. What do you like about church? So make a list of things you enjoy, and make another list of things that you've always wanted to try.
Yeah.
And that's a good place to start.
It is. The other thing you can do is just look within your local community. What are some opportunities that exist? What do people in your circle do now for hobbies? Are you on the coast where you could surf, or are you in a golf or tennis community? That's a good idea, right?
Yeah.
What else?
If you're in the mountains, what about skiing or snowboarding or telemarking or cross-country skiing or ice skating? Find something in your local community that's native to where you are. And one of the things that I'm a big proponent of these days, because once we got to Marco, we joined the YMCA. See if there's a YMCA in your area. You'd be shocked at the amount of activities that your local YMCA or YWCA would offer.
And it's so much different than the gyms that we used to belong to. What was the fancy gym we belonged to?
Lifetime.
Lifetime Fitness.
Yeah, it
there's
was nice.
pool, tennis, and all that.
Really nice.
But this is more about community.
Right.
They have galas, they have lunch and learns in there. Besides the physical part, they're really big on community. So we're big fans of the YMCAs.
Or YWCA.
Or YWCA. Are there any other Ys? Or that's
Those are the only ones
The
I
M and
know.
the W. So another way to explore new hobbies is to explore new activities. Again, check into your local community centers. Maybe you've never thought of painting, but you could give it a try. Just sign up for a class and go. Even if you're a complete beginner, you're going to be there with other beginners. And you want to try this and anchor these things into your calendar so that you go. If painting is every Tuesday at 10, just go every Tuesday for a month and give it a shot.
And be awful. There's no consequence, right?
Yeah,
You're not trying to do it for a living. It's your hobby. We have a client in Connecticut, and she successfully retired from a very long career in banking. Financially independent, has a great circle of friends, and she created a group of friends, and they all got together one day right at the end of the year, and they decided to do 52 new things a year.
So each
one new thing a week.
Yeah, and one new thing a week. So
which I think is so inspiring.
It's simple things like trying a new restaurant, trying a new gym class, maybe going to a museum, reading a new book together. Don't make it complicated, but she did a great job of just coming up with every week they're going to try something new, and it's really good.
And they tried some things together,
right,
and some things independently.
Right.
So I thought that was such a great idea to explore new hobbies, new genres of books, new things that you could do, new ways you could volunteer. Right. She really was an inspiration for us.
So we talked about joining the YM or the YWCA. You also could join a club or a group. So it could be a business club. If you're a retired executive, they have spots in Rotary or the Chamber of Commerce. Personally, you could be a book club, a men's group, or a women's group. I'm now running a new men's group online, which is amazing. I should put the link down below. But just find a group of people that you can do something with together where you have a common interest, or a golf group.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The next thing you can do, and I know we insert this in many of our videos, but volunteering. It opens up so many opportunities to learn a new hobby and to be in a community of people that want to do the same thing.
The thing here about volunteering is trying to find an organization that fits a little bit with some passion you have. It might be reading to children. It might be working at a food bank if you're into food insecurity, or even mentoring someone. The point is to find something that attracts you and give of your time and talent. It's really an important thing to do. And then there's travel, right? People don't think of travel as a hobby,
right?
But if you do think of it as a hobby, you can learn new cultures, right? You can travel with a purpose.
You can read about the foreign lands that you're going to go to, or even just the next state over. Learn about the people. People who are history buffs in school love this as a hobby. And do the research before you go. Get yourself amped up before you get there.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing to do. And it doesn't have to be overseas travel. Right. It actually could be travel within your own community.
Even your own state, yeah.
Yeah, your community.
Right.
State's bigger.
Okay.
I was going small.
You were going really small.
Yeah, like your town, your village, your street. Maybe just do some travel on your street.
How do you
get
do
out
that?
and walk 10 minutes one way and 10 the other? That's travel.
That is not travel.
Well, it could be.
So here are some suggestions if you're still stuck. I'm just going to list for you the top hobbies for retirees from 2022.
Oh,
Are you ready? Travel, domestic and foreign. I think that was number one coming out of, the pandemic.
they didn't list walking down the street?
They didn't.
All right.
Gardening, big if you're now spending more time at your home, retirees are doing more time gardening, arts and crafts, reading.
Oh, reading makes me think of Nat, who was he's 92 years old, and he was one of my dad's partners and helped founded the company that I ended up working for. He's 92. He spends 3 hours a day reading, and he's got problems with his eyes, but he has this magnifier. But he reads about history that he really is passionate about. That's a hobby of his.
It is. It can be.
Yeah, and then he
Yeah.
goes to lunch and shares everything learned with all the other guys in the home.
Nice.
All right.
So I'm going to put another plug in for volunteering, which is one of the other top hobbies that retirees are doing. And then exercise and fitness is also a top hobby for retirees. So jump on board.
Right. So this phase of life can be whatever you want it to be. And filling your days and weeks with fun activities can make all the difference in the world on how your life unfolds in retirement.
At a minimum, find a friend or use your partner or spouse and put some effort into trying something new. Trying something new for both of you is a fun way to learn together at the same time.
Now, we hope you liked this video, and if you did, you're going to love this next one called Taking Control of Your Time. In that video, we give you 5 strategies on how you can fill your day. Control what you can, self-reflect, make a daily to-do list, set aside time for you, and finally, work towards a routine that these things happen. So click this video next.